This is Megan Meyer. She was a 13-year-old girl. Megan, like most girls, had low self-esteem due to her being overweight, and because of this was also battling with depression. But one day she started thinking that things were looking up because she received a friend request on MySpace from a boy named Josh. Megan did not know Josh, and he said that he was being homeschooled, and that's why she didn't see him around her school. But he was a boy, and he was interested in her, which had never happened before. Josh and Megan had a month-long online relationship before nice messages turned into cruel ones, and it didn't take long for others to join in. Then on October 16, 2006, after a day full of posts like Megan is fat and Megan is ugly, Megan Myers went up to her room and hung herself. And the last message that was open on her computer that her mother had found was, "The world would be better without you." ABC News in 2007 reported that after much investigation, it was found out that a neighbor and her mother, Tina Myers' friend, had made Josh's fake profile with her teenage daughter and was tormenting Megan. There are many other tragic stories of young lives ended too soon due to cyberbullying. According to the Pew Internet and American Life Project, 1 in 6 online teens have been contacted by someone they did not know in a way that made them feel scared and uncomfortable. There is a problem in our society with cyberbullying, and it affects children, adolescents, and adults equally at an alarming rate. The purpose of my speech is to persuade my audience that cyberbullying in our society is a problem and that they can be a part of the solution. In this speech, I will be presenting the problem with cyberbullying in our country and let you know how you can help prevent and decrease the prevalence of cyberbullying. So what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is not only done over the computer through posts or messages on social media. It can also happen over emails or via text messages. It is a faceless crime that is easy for children or adults to commit. It is easy to bully another person behind the screen of a device. The effects of this faceless crime have long-term and sometimes, like Megan, fatal consequences on its victims. So, what are some of these consequences that should cause you to be concerned and act? According to Change.org, currently there are only 34 states that have laws in place against cyberbullying. This is a very small amount considering that cyberbullying has doubled in the last decade and that it has many effects on children, adolescents, and adults. Most states let their own schools set their own policies for punishment for bullies, and the victim has to find legal counsel for further action. Emily Susky with The Guardian News said that Kansas is one of these states. So, most of the time, the school policy is to suspend the child that is being the bully for a few days. That may be all that this child gets as a consequence. Maybe their parents don't seek any further action. Maybe they don't get counseling for their child or anything extra. And according to the cyberbullying statistics from iSafe Foundation, over half of adolescents and teens have been bullied online, and about the same number have engaged in cyberbullying themselves. More than 1 in 3 young people have experienced cyber threats. Over 25% of adolescents and teens have been bullied repetitively through their cell phones or on the internet. Well over half of young people do not tell their parents when cyberbullying is occurring. According to the Cyberbullying Research Center, cyberbullying affects all genders and races, but is predominant more in females. Dr. Patchen with the Cyberbullying Research Center found that cyberbullying exacerbates emotional and physical issues that are already occurring in children's lives. Cyberbullying exacerbates people's feelings of hopelessness and instability. And Dr. Caudle, a family physician, stated that kids that are bullied are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, loneliness, unhappiness, and poor sleep habits. And most of these will have long-term effects into adulthood. There have been studies that have found that even bullies themselves are more likely than non-bullies to engage in a range of maladaptive and antisocial behaviors, and they are at a high risk for alcohol and drug dependency later on in life. Most people that are bullied are also being bullied face-to-face in their work setting and school setting. Studies have shown that cyberbullying affects a child's self-esteem, academic achievement, and emotional well-being. I want all of you to understand that you can play a role in preventing cyberbullying in you and your child's lives. By being more aware of cyberbullying, we can all help to fight it and prevent the outcomes that I just listed. So as a parent, what can you do? We can communicate and educate our children about cyberbullying. As parents, we can talk to our children about cyberbullying and explain what it is and why it's wrong, and how what they do on the internet or their phones can have serious consequences. Parents can even make rules that if they find out that their children have been doing these things, that they can take away their cell phone or computer privileges for a certain time frame. Parents can encourage their teens to talk with them concerning cyberbullying and tell their children to keep all messages concerning cyberbullying whenever it occurs. If the bullying continues, parents can block messages from the bully and can change their child's email or phone number. Parents can also make an initiative to report any bullying occurring to the child online from kids from their school or other schools. Parents also need to know their state's policies on anti-bullying and how the bully will be punished. Parents should tell their children to only share their passwords with them. And parents should not be ashamed to be monitoring their children on social media, their cell phones, or their emails. It is our job to protect them and to be a presence in their life. Since children nowadays are becoming members of social media at ages as young as 10 years old, parents can try to limit their access till they are older and more responsible to understand how their actions will go out over the internet or over their phone. Parents need to be aware of the signs that their child has experienced cyberbullying. The American Humane Association says that some of these signs are agitation, frustration, depression after using the computer or other electronic devices, and they may even avoid conversations about what he or she is doing over the computer or other electronic devices. Children can become withdrawn from their family and friends, or you may see your child stop using the computer altogether. Per Emily Susky with The Guardian News, parents should play an active role with punishing their children outside of their punishment they receive from the school whenever cyberbullying does occur. Parents need to talk with their children about the effects that they have on others whenever they do things like this. And they may even need to seek further counseling for their children to figure out the needs of their child that's being a bully. So what if you aren't a parent? How does it affect you? You can support efforts to increase anti-bullying laws within your own state. Encourage schools to work on their current policies on bullying or misconduct, and be aware of your state's current laws and stay up to date on how they're being improved. One day you may have children and that may affect you personally. Know that even the smallest comments about someone else can be taken in a negative way by the person who is receiving it. Simply just be mindful of how your words can hurt another person. Try not to text or type something to someone that you would not say in person. If you see someone being bullied online, do not join in. Instead, stand up for the person that's being bullied, and you can even reach out to them to see how you can help them. If you have a problem with someone, do not turn to social media or text messaging to confront this person. Instead, try to talk with them face to face to reach a resolution. We have become so reliable on faceless relationships that we forget the value of a one-to-one interaction with another person. Know when to walk away from cyberbullying. Know that it's okay to change your phone number, email, or block someone on social media if they're having a negative effect on your life. So, with no action, what does the future look like? Technology is becoming a way of life, and people are spending more and more time staring at a screen as opposed to another person, and we are starting to accept communication over social media, emails, or text messages as our main source of interaction with others. Albert Einstein once stated that it has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. I believe that he is right, The more that we rely on technology for social involvement, the more we'll become desensitized to how our actions and words have a lasting effect on others. Cyberbullying does not just occur in our schools or at our job. Cyberbullying follows your children home, and it follows you home as well. It flows into the time with our families and our leisure time with others. If we do not protect ourselves and our children from cyberbullying, it will have lasting effects on us and our children. If left unaddressed, this problem will get worse, and there will likely be more stories like Megan Meyer's story. After what I discussed about cyberbullying, I will leave all of you with this. Have face-to-face interactions with people when faced with conflicts. It is hard to say hurtful things to someone's face as opposed to over a message. Know your state's anti-bullying laws and aid in their improvement where it's needed. To the parents in our class, talk to your children and maintain an open line of communication about their day-to-day activities at school, online, and on their cell phones. Notice the signs of cyberbullying and be bold enough to stand up when you see it happening. Take the time to disconnect from a screen and reconnect with the people that matter most in your life. Be aware of how what you do online or over text messaging can affect others. Gandhi once stated, "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." We all play a role in preventing and ending this epidemic that is cyberbullying.